I'm Colin.
I'm David.
I'm Bradley.
I'm Elad Gross, running for Attorney General of Missouri, and this is Overarching.
I pledge allegiance to Gregory FX Daly, the one to whom we owe it all, and to our taxes, which we prefer to be spent on
Possum control.
Whoa!
1% to the god of yellow envelopes ignored by all.
Possum control.
Yes. I feel bad.
Hold on. Pause. Elaborate.
Yeah, well, I feel like, look, so possums are really important because they eat a lot of ticks. And you know, we don't like ticks.
This is true.
Because you get a lot of diseases. And I think that we need to protect our possums.
My brother has alpha-gal syndrome now.
Yeah, right?
Because of ticks.
There's a
I'm gonna
lady.
tell my brother to get a possum.
There's a lady who's running for Congress right now in the 3rd Congressional District in Missouri, and she has that. I'd never heard of it in my life.
Does she have an
It's
anti-tick
becoming more
platform?
prevalent.
Does she? You know what? I don't think the tick. I haven't asked her what her position on ticks is. I'm sure she probably has a feeling
Is she
about that. now.
anti-tick?
I would think so. One
She
would
pro- is
think.
she pro-tick?
I mean, alpha gal is not great.
No.
And it's called alpha gal. Like for a while, I was like, "Are you the alpha gal?" Is like a superhero.
We all
thing or
thought
something?
that that's what it was.
That's why I thought too. I had never.
What
Yeah.
about alpha male?
Yeah.
It's gone.
I
No,
genuinely don't
have
know
it.
what it is.
Alpha gal is mostly, so it's a red meat protein that, so you cannot, if you have gotten bit by a tick.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
has this protein and essentially like gives it to
it-
you.
yeah, it
Humans
makes you-
do not
yeah.
produce this protein.
Right. It makes you like allergic to red meat.
And if you ingest red meat, you essentially go into anaphylactic shock.
It turns you into
Yes.
a liberal soy boy. Yeah.
Yes, liberal soy boy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That soy boy thing. You know, that's Missouri's like #1 thing is soy.
Right.
It is.
Aren't we all soy boys if we're in Missouri? Like that's the whole. We want to be that
snaps.
way. Come on, come on.
Snaps.
Elad,
Yes.
you're running for a state office in Missouri, but
right.
you drive a
Yuck.
Chevy Colorado.
Boo. Wait,
Care
hold
to
on.
address that?
The Chevy Colorado is made in Wentzville, Missouri.
Where is it made?
Wentzville, Missouri.
Wentzville, baby.
Wentzville, Missouri.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really should call it the Chevy, Missouri. I agree with you. I agree with you. I would have been so much happier. by
yeah.
that
Dude,
thing.
oh man, because I had a lot of friends growing up whose parents worked at the GM plant out there, but when they were
Yeah.
making vans.
Yeah,
And
and they
then
still
they-
they have another line there. Yeah, I think they're still doing some stuff there. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yep.
when they announced that they were doing the Colorado, everybody in Wentzville was like, "Oh my god!" It was like everybody lost their minds.
Yeah.
They were like, "The Chevy version of the Ranger? Oh my gosh!" And then
Yeah.
it came out, and everybody was like, "That's not the Ranger. It's a very different car." But that's
Yeah,
cool.
but it's in the same, same thought process. Right?
really is.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
This is caraganda. I just wanna- I just
this
wanna-
is
This is
caraganda?
caraganda.
Yeah,
I just
we're
wanted to let
against
you know.
cars.
We're not.
Well,
we're pro transit.
I have a truck, so it's fine, right? It's not
Right.
a car.
There's no truckaganda.
I'm not supposed to call it a car.
But here's the thing: you have a truck
Yes.
that makes sense as a truck. You don't
Yes.
have like an F-250.
Well, this is like
Super
it's like the
Duty.
size of an F-150 in the '90s, which I
Right.
think is like that's the ideal. That's great. Yeah, some of these things are massive,
Yeah.
and I'm not the biggest guy in the world, so already, do I need that problem? Right. I think we're okay.
It feels like, but I feel like a truck is prerequisite to running for any political office in the state of Missouri.
I'm sure it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, I mean, I am later in just a little bit. I am delivering 30 4x8 signs of my name, and I will say my truck is making that very,
Yeah.
very helpful. Yeah, very helpful.
How big is Andrew Bailey's truck?
Oh, I don't know. I don't see him very
does
often.
he
I don't know
drive
if
a
he
truck?
drives a truck. I have no idea.
I mean, yeah.
He lives in Montgomery County.
I feel like it's
Well,
probably
probably
I feel like
right.
it's
He was
probably
at
a
some
good
point. It was very. So I thought that he was a Missouri, like he was born here. Did the whole thing and all of that, and that's the way he was because he really didn't like the guy he was running against in the primary. And he kept saying he moved here from the East Coast. Had been here for like 10 years. And then on St. Louis Public Radio, they were like, "Why are you fighting? Like, why do you keep bringing that up? He chose to be here. Isn't that enough? Like, he wants to be in Missouri." And he's like, "Well, I think I'm the candidate. I'm the Missourian for Missourians." Well, were you born here? No. What?
You know what's really crazy?
idea.
In our research, and you'll see later why we did a bunch of research for about Andrew Bailey.
Wow.
But like the thing that struck me immediately was like where he was born is like not present on his Wikipedia page.
No, it is not.
And it's like, it's obviously one of those, like, you know, when you run for political office, you purge a bunch of your stuff from back in the day. And for you, it might be like an embarrassing picture of something.
Yeah. There are a couple when I was running for prom king, actually.
Just real quick, can we
get a signature on
Can
this?
we get an autograph here, real quick from you?
Oh.
And more importantly,
so this cat is now 15 years old. She has
it's still alive.
This cat, this is a gray one. This cat is still alive, and she okay, so she's 15 now, and there was like she was living in my mom's place on the hill, and there was like a sewage thing or whatever, so they moved out, and my mom has been wanting to get rid of. They were my cats. I adopted the cats, but I gotta love them. So she's like, get them out. So I brought them over. There's been World War cat at my house in Carondelet. Because of so this one, you know, she'd walk around and just like plop down and kind of drag herself or whatever. And I brought her to the vet because, you know, there was poop in the basement. So let's check out the cats to make sure they're not sick. And they said, what you are describing with her is exactly what's in the training videos for cat arthritis. You should try this shot. So it's called Silencia or something. I don't know. It's silent. And you give them a shot. And within maybe a day, she's just running around the house. Now she's the boss, beating up every single cat. Almost killed a cat. She's 15 years old. Yeah, one that's like 10 years younger than her.
Incredible.
So gray one is still going with Shibby is her buddy. Shibby, both adopted from the APA here in St. Louis.
That's incredible.
Not cat on cat violence.
I'm mostly curious about this. There you go.
Oh, no.
I'm mostly curious about James Pants. Who is James Pants
I have
in
no
that
idea
picture?
what that is. I have zero idea.
James Pants.
Okay. I do know.
It's truly incredible.
Okay, so this James Pants thing with the cat, I'm assuming there's going to be a photo on the screen of this at some point so everybody can see this. So I lived, this was during law school, and I was living by that Metrolink spot on Enright, and we were protesting the trolley because they were trying to do all those signs, and we would maybe maneuver some things so that they wouldn't. I was against the trolley from the very beginning before they finished construction.
Yeah, this photo's from a decade ago.
This is I know where this is. This is in that house, and I'm assuming this is Johnny's. Johnny is now a teacher of children in schools. They let him in schools to teach things. But I think I'm not 100% sure what this is, but he came home with many strange things as he was trying to provide education to children in our state.
Well, thank you.
And the caption on this photo, obviously a early version of a campaign slogan, maybe. What was it? Manischewitz on my white tea.
Oh yeah,
Gefilte in her belly.
Yeah, Manischewitz on my way.
Elad Gross for Attorney General.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the Manischewitz.
So who are you? Like, why are you here?
Yeah, why are you here?
What
I
is
have no
what
idea.
is this?
What
Well,
the
I
hell
think
is this?
the big thing is, like, you introduce yourself. You're running for Attorney General of the state of
I'm doing that
Missouri,
too, yeah.
and I think that, you know, a lot of folks show up to
A lot of folks.
a lot of folks.
Yeah, that was very tough for me in the third grade.
Yep. Sure. I was betting that you've never heard it before.
No, not a one time.
and
You know, the craziest one I get is probably Aladdin.
Yeah.
Yeah, they think that my name is Aladdin.
Even with the last name Gross, that's the one they went with. That's honestly respectful.
One. Yep. mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. I'm into it.
Yeah.
No further comments.
Iliad. That was a good one.
Sure.
Got Iliad. Yeah, that's a good one.
Iliad. Oh, that's learned. That's a good one.
But, you know, there's a bunch of like statewide offices that I feel like people don't think about on just like day to day how that affects your life as a citizen. And so could you just like briefly tell us, like, what is Attorney General of the state, and like why is that important, and, you know, what's that job supposed to do?
Yeah, well, it's supposed to do a whole lot. So I guess who here knows what the number one complaint is to the Attorney General's office every year by far? Number one complaint.
Crime.
Nope.
Crime?
Now, there is like a division that deals with, you know, helping prosecutors deal with crime. And I think that there should be a lot more involvement on reducing crime from that office.
Is it just Missouri?
In the state of Missouri, the number one
Missouri.
complaint. Yeah. So the next, like this one gets like tens of thousands. The next one gets a few thousand.
Babe, is it border control?
No, it's not border
Because
control.
That's what Andrew Bailey was
Nope,
talk
it is.
about
Nope,
for some
nope,
reason.
nope. It's not border control. No,
I just thought that would be out of left field.
no,
So.
no. Do you?
I
you haven't guessed
have
yet?
an educated guess based on some of your campaign stuff. So I didn't
okay.
want to like
Oh,
toss
dude,
that.
then do it.
Yeah,
Sounds
do
smart.
it. It's still a guess.
Is it scam phone calls?
It's scam phone calls.
You're so
ding,
smart.
Ding, 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 ding. Yes.
What a guy.
Yeah, scam phone calls every year.
Really?
Yep. So that's we in Missouri, we invented the do not call list.
Wow, I didn't know
really?
that.
The people of the state of Missouri invented that.
I remember like when that happened, but I didn't know that was just like, I thought it was like, oh, it's just like a national whatever.
No, it was Missouri. There was a state senator. Actually, I was just talking about him earlier this morning. Good guy in the boot heel, Jerry Howard, and Jay Nixon, Attorney General.
Yeah.
And so that was the legislation that enacted all of that. And the federal government said, what a great idea. We're going to steal it from you.
Oh, yeah.
And you wouldn't know today that we invented it. That's for sure.
Yeah,
But,
what happened?
so a lot of things happened.
I
So-
might be getting one right now.
You probably are.
Like-
Yeah. Actually, I was walking into today. I don't think I've gotten, but now are you guys getting those texts where it's like, "Oh, you are the talent we've been looking for. Please respond so we can get you booked on whatever."
Oh no,
It's just like a
no,
weird
I'm not
thing.
getting those. That would totally work for me.
Oh, would it? Yeah, it was close. I mean, it's like, ooh, I'm a special boy. Yeah.
Wait, you're sending those?
Yeah, well,
It's me.
Damn it!
I mean,
No,
you
I
have to
haven't-
get responses. I guess.
I have not been getting those. Like, what did? Do you know what happened and why?
Yeah.
Like,
So a lot of this is one, big telecom is able to block a lot of these. So if you're not going to litigate or take those folks on from the state, that's a big problem because a lot of these people, they get donations from these big places and then they don't want to do anything about it. But then two is the technology is adapting so fast. Now we have AI, we have all these things. They can clone your voices. They can send these things out from whatever country they want to. And if you're not really investing in consumer protection anymore in that office, then you're falling behind very, very fast. And that's where we are right now.
Interesting.
Yeah.
and
So I want to start the Missouri Attorney General app, as long as that acronym isn't taken by a former president.
the Ag app.
Attorney General.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
Good one.
I know, right?
Good one. You also know the Missouri Golf Association is also MAGA.
Oh, is it really?
Do you know that?
Oh,
It's like
no.
the Professional Missouri Golf Association is MAGA.
You'd think that. Well, maybe they wouldn't.
And
change
so
it.
I am part of MAGA.
Oh,
and sometimes
no.
I'll have to go
Clip
places.
that out of context.
with-
Clip
Out of
that
context. I do have a follow up on this.
Yeah, yeah.
Might get cut for time, but I just a genuine question. So scam phone calls are annoying.
Yes.
But I feel like more prescient in my life, at least as a person who runs a business on social media, like scam comments.
Yes, I know.
Like I had to delete 10 on the bus on the way here this
Yeah.
morning.
Yes.
It all came in like right
Yep.
in a row. And
Yep.
we're not even like Fly North Theatricals and Greenfinch aren't even like humongous platforms.
Yeah.
And still, like I could only imagine if we had like, a 5 or 6 digit number
They
of
will
followers.
be.
Thanks, buddy.
will be, buddy.
But like it's a Greenfinch STL.
Yeah, follow. Follow.
but
That was
like-
the whole plug right here. It was really good. That was well done.
But the it's native advertising. But like what could an attorney general do about stuff like that? I mean, I know that's like not Missouri based,
and,
but
and
neither
you're
is
right,
but
and the fact that it's not like it's not FCC, it's not like
Right.
like the it's like it's this private business platform, like which I know there's obviously like all types of showboaty hearings about this and that on social media, but like regulations on the internet versus regulations on someone's platform on the internet, it's complex.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes. Yeah. Well, so I mean, I deal with that all the time. We get like a whole bunch. If something is moving on our Facebook page, especially, all of a sudden everybody's getting replies to go click this link and give them this. And then actually I have people who just warned me, hey, there's a scammer. Go get them. So I have to like manually block these things because you put like stuff in. Anyway, there are ways. It's just like the phones, right? They have the ability. Now we get scam likely.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of that we didn't used to
true.
get those. So there are ways that these companies can do it. I think Facebook, a lot of these social media platforms, if they are enabling scammers to steal a whole bunch of folks' money, then the attorney general of each state has the ability to enforce consumer protection laws there too. So I mean, look, if we're gonna have an attorney general, we're gonna pay all this money to have one in a whole office. They might as well be doing something for us.
Yeah.
So I figure one of those big things is consumer protection. That's what we used to do a lot here in Missouri, and we should get back to doing that again.
amen.
Yeah.
That's very wild that's the number one thing by a
Yep.
mile.
By a mile.
Yeah.
But that is a daily interaction.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it is the most we're the most aware of that annoyance.
Right.
Yeah.
I will say on the flip side though, there's a particularly nefarious scam that goes around for theater people and for concerts in general. But like it's a seemingly extremely normal comment that says like, I have 4 tickets to this and I can't go. Like DM me for, if you want to get these tickets. And Yeah, that's super bad and nefarious, and it's like it's set up in a way where I feel like, you know, vulnerable people really could fall for it. But also, it's how I know that the algorithm is working on some of our posts.
Yeah.
It's getting the reach.
Yeah.
Bringing it back. Bring it back to the introductory question, like the role of attorney general, like on a definitional level, like what is, you know, what is the general, like obviously, you know, you've got things that you want to do with the office.
Yes.
But like, what is the overall mandate of the office?
What is the attorney general in general?
Yeah.
Yeah. In general. And generally, you speaking?
In specific.
Okay. Oh, very
generally.
specific, not general. Okay. Yeah. So, well, actually, that's a great question, because if you look at what the law says a lot about our state attorney, it's actually very vague. It's you have to be able to represent the interests of the people of Missouri. That's pretty much it. So some folks take that, like our current guy who used to be, he literally was the attorney for the governor. He has now taken that a step further and said, now I'm the attorney general. I'm still the attorney for the governor.
Like
I'm the
he was
attorney for the state.
he was the personal attorney for.
He was in the governor's office. He was his counsel.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Okay.
That's where he came from. That's where he was appointed from.
Right.
So my view is a little bit, my view is that the attorney general should be the attorney for the people of the state of Missouri, not the attorney for the governor, not the attorney for the government generally. Sometimes that will overlap, right? But your number one interest is representing the interests of the people, and some of them don't. So in one example, so I enforce Missouri Sunshine Law a lot, which is the law that allows you to participate in public meetings, see public records, all these things. I've got a lot of litigation on that. The attorney general office now has taken the position that, well, we're not going to enforce that law if somebody in state government is the one violating the Sunshine Law, because we might represent them. So we'd rather do that than represent the interests of the people in seeing records. I don't think that that's the right way to go about it.
I mean, we have our current attorney general is like representing the former president. Like, like that's, I mean, that I feel like that's just a huge exclamation point onto like how the role of attorney general, even in a state, can morph to be like, oh no, you're representing the government.
And Bradley and I were talking about this in general. Missouri, especially Missouri, but
attorney general.
specifically the Republican Party of old in Missouri touts the idea of us being wanting to be such a small government.
Yeah, right.
And
right.
one of the
Yes.
smallest governments in America,
Yeah.
and we want that to be the case. And yet the current attorney general is like, you know what? I think we should have a more federal scope. Let's talk about Texas. Let's talk about New
Let's
York.
talk about China.
Let's talk about specifically China.
Yeah.
Buying
Let's
up.
sue China.
Yeah. Like, what happened? Because that's something
Yeah.
that I kind of enjoyed from like the Republican Party of old, was like small government.
Yeah, I'm all about it.
The
In
in
certain-
theory.
I'm about it. I'm all about it. I'm all about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's something that you hit a lot that we all really, really love is the attorney general's office should just be the most what's the word? Bipartisan
Yes,
office there.
yes.
Like there shouldn't be
I agree.
people running for parties.
I agree.
Like what the hell is that about?
It's stupid.
Well,
I
'cause
agree.
When you think about, because like when I think about just like litigation in general, and like the purpose of that in the best possible outcome is saying like, let's test the situation legally and hopefully come to the right outcome, upholding justice for whatever party in this situation.
That's
and that
what you
is
would want.
fundamentally just like a nonpartisan question of like, hey, what's benefiting the people? What is bringing out the right outcome? It's not about values and culture war stuff. It's about like specific situations and specific outcomes.
Right. I 100% agree. Yeah, we should be hiring the best attorney for the job, not the biggest political hack that we can find on the street. I mean, if you think about it from like just the structural standpoint too, the attorney general on the federal level is appointed by the president. In the states, most of the states, it might be all of them, but most of the states, we're electing an attorney general separately from the governor, separately from even the lieutenant governor, separately from the secretary of state. So that person within this checks and balances system is a separate check on that executive power too.
Sure.
And a big reason for that is the states really, and that's why, I'm like, oh, people should really, really involved in seeing what their state government's doing, everything else. It has more of an impact on our daily lives than what's happening at the federal level. And so there's a lot more power that the states have to tell us what to do, how we can do it, everything else. And so it's better to have a lot of that power diffused with these different checks within that system.
Quick aside: 43 states have an elected attorney
Yeah.
general.
Okay. Yeah. See, I was pretty sure somebody doesn't have one.
Alaska,
The Commonwealth states.
I don't know. No, they're kind of all over the place. Alaska, Hawaii, New Hampshire, New Jersey, Wyoming. They're appointed by the governor.
Okay.
In Tennessee, it's appointed by the Supreme Court for an 8-year term. And in
Interesting.
Maine, it's elected by the state legislature for a 2-year term.
Well, they're just candidates, so that makes sense.
Anyway.
Yeah, Tennessee
Cool. Well,
Man. Yeah,
and New Jersey.
do you want to segue us into 10 questions?
I mean, yeah, I just want to get to know you more. The SDL questionnaire. So it's a questionnaire that we ask people to really, truly get to know them as a St. Louisan.
Yeah, alternative questions. To where did you go to high
questions.
school?
We have 10 questions. The first question.
Oh, boy.
It's kind of a two-parter.
It's going to be where you go to high school. I know it.
It'd be the funniest possible thing.
What's your bar, and what is like your local drink at the bar? What's your order?
His bar is the law, the test.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, my bar number?
the Missouri bar.
My bar number is 67125.
What's your?
I took the Missouri one. Yeah.
Did you pass the bar?
I did. I did. Yes. It was a low bar.
There's a question you get from your wife. Did you pass the bar or did you stop by on your way home?
That's good. That's good.
really good,
That's
really.
good.
But seriously, what's your local bar?
Oh man, like it used to be the tin can.
Oh.
I remember the tin can. That was my favorite.
Yeah.
Because they had all those different ones. I think they had like Olympia or whatever. You could just get all the old stuff. Genesee. That was fun. Yep. It was fun. It was fun. Let's see. Okay, if I'm picking right now, man, it's been a while. I'm a big fan of dive bars generally. But
Greenfinch Theater and 25,
I'm trying to think. Where have I been recently that was really good? I mean, TikTok Tavern's pretty fun.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
That
a pretty
counts,
fun
man.
one. Yeah, it's pretty fun. I mean, Nick's is pretty good, but I've seen some things at Nick's.
That's what makes it.
Yeah,
That is true.
makes
Yeah.
sense.
Well, so I
It's
play.
an institution.
I play
Yeah.
rugby, and some bad things happen after some rugby games when people don't know what they're doing and decide that they. There's this game. It's the boot. You never heard of the boot? Have none of you played
drinking the
rugby?
giant beer out of the boot.
No.
Okay,
It's
no.
worse than that. So it's like it's this thing. You're all hanging out, and usually you have. So it's a very there's a lot of camaraderie in rugby. So whatever it is, you then invite the other team over to your place, and whatever that bar is going to be, and then you go. But if there's like usually it's like a ping pong ball or something, but somebody has it and they try to drop it in your beer when you're not paying attention. And if you're not, then everybody starts screaming. And then they say, bring out the boot, bring out the boot.
Okay.
So the boot is someone's cleat from the game.
Oh, yes.
And then they bring it out and sometimes they add some things to it. And then you now, this is your new cup for the evening, but it usually takes a few seconds before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost as bad as drinking Genesee. That's it.
I saw, it was one of the playoff games that was really exciting there. Cardinals. I won a slap bet on that one. That was pretty fun. That was really great.
It was like 2011.
That was yes.
The last time the Cardinals were good.
Yeah, must
Last
have
time
been.
people were doing slap bets.
We were in the postseason in 2022.
bad. I didn't know what it was. I just said
One
yes.
game, yeah. TikTok Tavern. Went on my first date with my wife there.
Oh, okay.
And also, the old liquor department sign that used to be in the Way Out Club is now there.
Yeah,
also,
they bought that
so
at the.
lots. Also in our neighborhood,
Yeah.
lots of TikTok Tavern. TikTok Tavern.
Can I give a shout out to Pieces too? Does
Hell
that count?
yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Pieces then. That's my one. That was supposed to be my first date with my
Board
wife.
game guy?
I like them. Yeah, they're fine. I mean, am I gonna do I do it on a regular basis? No.
This is the appropriate reaction to board games, Bradley.
Yeah, they're fine.
By the way, yeah.
Carcassonne is great. I'm a big fan of Carcassonne.
That's a good one. That's cool.
That's a great game. Yeah.
What and from where is your sandwich?
Does a calzone count as a sandwich?
It does not.
Are you sure?
I don't know.
We're not going to
I don't
litigate
know
that
either.
here today.
I'm not Italian.
Yeah.
He's the litigation guy.
Can I speak on behalf of Italians?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
You
Yes.
do.
Is a calzone a sandwich?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Then Joya's.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's
or Blue City Deli. Actually, yeah. Blue City Deli is the right answer.
There we go.
I didn't want to say, and there's a correct
the first
answer,
thing.
but yeah.
It's Blue City Deli. It's Blue
Cut
City
the
Deli.
first thing.
There's a correct answer.
Blue City Deli.
Your favorite animal at the zoo and why?
Tiger, because they're awesome.
What?
The penguins are pretty fun though
Okay,
too.
right.
Yeah, the penguins are pretty. The little puffins, the Puffin
Yeah.
Palace or whatever. Yeah.
But we have like more tigers now because we got those cubs.
Yeah.
Oh
Got
really?
new tiger cubs. man.
Oh, I gotta go see.
Penguins are stinky, though.
Penguins are stinky.
yeah.
But what's fun about them is that sometimes a kid takes one home every once in a while. You know.
What?
Yeah, you haven't seen this?
No.
Yeah, and then the mom like finds the kid in the bathroom playing with the penguin. It's like, oh.
Like the mama penguin? or-
No, the mom of the human. Yes, the
Like
human
an
mother.
actual penguin?
Yeah, that like
a
sometimes
live
every
penguin.
once in a while there's like a story about like some kid. Oh, I'm encouraging
In St.
bad
Louis?
behavior now. Yeah, yeah.
I've never.
And I can understand the possibility of that having walked through there, but like I don't think I've ever seen this news story.
I mean, I not only understand the possibility, I
Maybe I'm making
understand.
this up. I could have sworn. That
I understand
Saw,
the urge.
Yeah. You're not supposed to do not
the
do that.
feasibility of it.
Do
is
not do
high.
it.
There's
Yeah.
a high
Do
feasibility.
not do
of
it.
You
happening.
wanna stay with their family?
you could just, in theory, when they're all outside, just reach over and grab one.
Yes.
They're right
Yes,
there.
they are right
right
there.
there.
They are
They're
right there.
like famously slippery.
Yeah,
But with the right pair of gloves,
yeah.
I could see it.
And the kids' can-do attitude.
Yeah, Elad Gross for Attorney General. Grab a fucking penguin.
Grab a penguin.
And run for Attorney General.
Don't you want your attorney general to be like your sporting director of city soccer club to steal a penguin?
He stole a penguin?
Do you not know this about St. Louis City Soccer Club's Lutz Pfannenstiel?
He stole a penguin.
He had a pet penguin for a
Just like
second.
Elad Gross.
Wow.
He stole a penguin.
Just like Elad
Okay,
Gross.
wait, hold up.
Stole a penguin and is now running for office.
Incredible.
Tells it
Incredible.
like it is.
You can do great things.
Tells it like it is.
Is that penguin now like the mascot for the soccer team? Because he
I don't
definitely
know
should.
the- I don't
Where
know
is
whole
the penguin
details.
now? Where is the
Penguin needs
penguin
to
now?
be
I don't know the
every
whole
match.
details of the,
right.
but it is very interesting. Look it up. Look it up.
Cool.
Your like favorite local celebrity to like follow.
And why?
My favorite local celebrity to follow. Oh my God. Oh no, the dude with the van.
Andrew Bailey.
No,
The dude with the van? Oh my god. That was interesting.
the guy.
take.
He used to have that show, and he probably still does. Oh my goodness.
Dude
What?
with the van.
I really need more sleep on this campaign. The guy, he's got the van, and then you take a picture with him, and he goes to a lot of these events, and he wears like the king stuff with the crown, and he had the show at like 3 a.m. Oh my God, I'm gonna kick myself so hard. Gary, is it Gary?
Gary.
Someone find this, please.
Yeah.
That's what
He's got
why
a van.
Ian's
It's
here.
got his whole face on it, and
It really sounds like Andrew Bailey.
he
to me.
reviews things.
the them yo people.
Yes.
Mr. Gary.
Yeah, Mr.
Mr. Gary.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's definitely
When
him.
the king of hospitality,
Yes.
king of hospitality.
Oh my God,
Mr. Gary.
When
me
he's
see.
at an event
As
that I'm
them
at,
yo-
I
them
get
yo people.
so excited.
he has 9 seasons.
Yeah, we used to watch. So this picture of the
forgot
James,
about it. Yeah,
the
them yo
James
people
Pants.
has, like,
this
3,000
is we would
subscribers.
watch from the James Pants photo. That's what we would be watching on the TV on the other
Dude,
side.
yeah,
Incredible.
I forgot about him.
Yeah.
I forgot about him.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
Yeah,
What
he's
a pull.
Yeah, he's really good.
Great pull.
Yeah, he's a fun guy too. And then there's also another Gary, gorgeous Gary Jackson.
Gorgeous Gary.
Yeah, he's a wrestler. He actually just got an award this year for something. And yeah, he's a bailiff in the city.
What?
Yeah, gorgeous
No
Gary.
way.
All right. I love that this is happening.
Yeah, you get on South Broadway at the Athletic Club. You guys
yeah.
have to go. You have to go.
I used to live right behind the South.
Great time.
I kind of still
Gary
do.
is phenomenal. Yeah.
Does he still wrestle?
Yeah. That's what he got. Yeah, he got some award this year for being a
wrestles.
super awesome.
Oh, I thought you meant for being a good bailiff.
I mean, he is a good bailiff too, and he deserves an award for that.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
This is the best news since Jesse Ventura was governor.
Okay, so these are the two Garys. The
Yeah.
two Garys.
Nice. Love
What
it.
do you miss most when you're gone from St. Louis?
My bed.
Your bed.
Is that so
On
here's the thing.
campaign?
That
Yeah.
sounds like a campaign question or
That
a
is.
campaign
Yeah.
answer.
Okay, so if I'm out,
So
just
if you-
out and about.
Yeah.
Well, usually I'm bringing my dog with me, so I've got that. Okay, so you know what's really frustrating, and I think the people of Kansas City are going to get really mad about this.
that's sick.
I can't deal with it. Their highway system. When you go there and it's like, take this exit now, immediately veer over 4 lanes and take the other one. It's like, what? Who designed this? Why did you do this to me?
nightmare.
Yeah, it's absolutely awful.
Absolute nightmare.
Yeah,
You're right.
Here it's like very straightforward.
Actually-
you do have that one sign that everybody points to in downtown. Oh, go this way, that way. But it's not okay. Maybe around the casino, it's a little nuts. But other than that, we're fine.
It's not our problem. It's the highway mess on the east side where you can take an exit that is the same exit as an exit a couple yards ahead of that, and you end up back on the highway that you were just on.
Yeah, yes,
That whole interchange
yes.
that destroyed
They're,
so much land
I think
over
they're
there.
fixing it now.
Yeah.
But also the fact that they brought
Well,
it
that's
through
just
in
the
the first
problem with
place.
highways in general.
Yeah, I mean, at Kansas City, at St. Louis, at every American city.
At Dwight D. Eisenhower.
Yeah, at the
At Highway Act of 1956.
at Robert Moses and
I'm sorry
his
that
clones.
all my answers are so focused on like I'm driving somewhere, or I'm trying to sleep. And that's
I mean, that is what you're
That's
doing
where we
right now.
are. Yeah, here we are
But I
right
think
now.
the people of Kansas City would agree with you on that fact, though.
We should
Kansas
get together.
Cityans
We should get
hate
together
their
on
highway
this. We
system.
should get together on this. I
Yeah.
agree. We should bring the state together.
yeah, and not with a highway, with a high-speed rail.
With a
Hey.
high-speed rail.
Yeah, I mean, you look at so many. Well, we can talk forever about the highway system destroying our neighborhoods, but you know,
Oh yeah, Robert Moses, he parted the red lines
Yeah.
And made them into thicker
and
red
made them into
lines.
Very
thicker
thick.
red lines.
Yeah.
Doubled down
yeah,
on his
really
red
went
line.
for it there. Yeah.
Just added another red line directly next to that red line.
Right.
Which of these suck the most? The Blackhawks, the Predators, Cubs, Red Sox, Reds, or Sporting Kansas City, or dealer's choice?
The Cubs.
The Cubs.
The Cubs.
Quick.
Yeah,
That's fair.
Cubs.
fair.
Cubs suck.
When
I don't think we need to explain any further.
No, yeah, that's it. That's the end of that.
Right?
Yeah.
You about to say something?
I was just gonna color commentary about when I moved to St. Louis. I was a Cubs fan, and it was because my whole family's from Chicago.
My wife's a Cubs fan.
And I had two choices growing up, right? Because
Yeah.
I grew up in Miami, but my whole family's from Chicago, so I had the choice to be a Marlins fan,
Right.
where they
Yeah.
win sometimes, but
Yeah,
they
yeah,
sell the whole
yeah,
team,
yeah,
or the
right.
Cubs, where they lose constantly,
all the
but at
time,
least
yeah.
they got heart.
Yes.
And I chose being a Cubs fan. And when I moved up here, St. Louis it got me. It got me to convert. Also, my wife is also a Cardinals
My
fan.
favorite fact about the
Let's go.
Marlins and the Cardinals is that since the Marlins' inception, they have the same number of World Series.
Yep.
Isn't that sad?
I feel like you could probably point to any
great thing about
any
Ci-
team with 2 World Series, which is a lot of them.
Yeah. Never mind. We don't,
I felt that. I did feel that.
We don't
I
need
did,
to go
I did
into-
feel that when you said it. I
yeah,
felt it. Yeah.
it just kind of
It's fine.
hurts a little bit.
Fine. Hey, some changes.
We'll
are
always
coming,
have
I
2016.
think. Yeah.
You can't take that away from us.
Question number next.
Question number next. What should St. Louis's new slogan be?
You know what I'm thinking in my head? It is terrible.
Now you got to
Should
say
we
it.
do it? Should we do it?
Now you have to.
Be better. It speaks to so right to you as an individual. It's like, I can be better. Or are we talking about the city, like trash pickup, or are we talking about possum control? Maybe.
It always comes back to possum control.
I really want to protect the possums.
You know what? When you say
St.
possum
Louis,
control,
protect the
though,
possums.
possum control sounds like
that's what it is.
That's the slogan.
save the possums.
Save the possums.
Save the possums.
Keep them
Come
in.
to St.
Keep them
Louis.
in. Keep them in. Keep.
Don't let them leave. Don't let them leave.
When you say possum control, it
Build
sounds
Sounds,
like
sounds like a Prince song.
possum control. That's Possum Kingdom. That's a
Okay.
different
thinking?
song. I was saying
control
possum
sounds-
control sounds like you want to like kill them, like pest control.
That's true, actually. Yeah, that does kind of sound like. Yeah.
But possum conservation.
Yeah, I guess it's probably more possum conservation. You're right. Yeah,
Possum
control's a little bit
proliferation.
Question 9. What's your best childhood memory in St. Louis?
20th anniversary of the state championship. Why not? So, running onto the field during the intros at the football state championship at the Edward Jones Dome when they still had AstroTurf there, and not falling. I was so worried, who's going to trip. Everybody was talking about the way
Oh, the turf monster is insane.
turf monster's insane.
State championship for what?
Football.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
He doesn't believe. See, he's looking at me. He's like, "There's no way.
A lot of girls played football.
There's no way. There's
did?
no way."
We did read that on your campaign website that you played football.
Yeah.
Which,
I almost made a tackle one time.
That's what it says.
It's true.
It's a good line.
It was really close to making one.
I feel like you're way cooler than me and Bradley because our reminiscing of being on the field at the Edward Jones Dome.
We were both marching band
We were
guys.
both marching band. And
So there's like Bands of America
okay.
competition.
And so like our whole thing was like, don't when you're marching backwards on your toes, like that's when the turf monster gets you.
Oh, really?
So that's
Yeah,
what you're,
just 'cause
that's
you
what
go
you're
back
always
and you
told.
can't really, like,
around
look.
St.
Yeah,
Louis.
yeah.
For Bands of America.
Oh, interesting.
I will say, as a 5'7" man, I do really appreciate the short king representation that you provide to this
You know,
Attorney
it's
General's
a
race.
burden to carry. That's for sure. I wish
I'm
I
sure
could
it
put
is.
underneath. So I
You're
could
so
go-
small.
yeah, I know. It's ridiculous.
Everything's a
isn't it?
burden to carry. Oh God,
That's good.
If only the arms were longer, you know.
I know. I
But even
can't
then, it
reach
would still touch
anything.
the ground.
Hey, at least
It's hard. That's the worst part. It's the clearance that's the worst
that's
part.
actually really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least, you know, in St. Louis, there's a lot of homes that have like smaller ceilings
Yes.
just because they were built so long ago.
Yes.
Because people were smaller back then.
Yep.
Yes, in general.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're time travelers.
My basement's
we
like
are
that,
time
but then it's like it's a pain because I can't like get all my gym stuff in there. Won't fit.
You need little gym stuff.
Yeah.
Who's
I
little
need to get
Jim?
even literal.
You need
That's what
right-
I needed to do.
You know how what's his face Flanders
Ant-Man?
Flanders had the left-handed store on The Simpsons with everything left-handed.
Oh, yeah.
Like we need a right-sized gym equipment store for Short Kings.
Or I was gonna say instead of Rural King, Short King.
Just
There it
King
is.
Jr.
There it is. I like that.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, I'm with it.
Nice.
King Prince
It should just be King lowercase.
King.
All lowercase. Just be King all lowercase.
It's like
Small
Brad.
font though too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like Comic Sans.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Last question. If you were telling somebody about St. Louis, what's the first thing you tell them about?
Like so somebody who's not here.
Yeah, somebody from that's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
from St. Louis.
Okay. Because someone was here a little bit. I tell them to come. I tell them to come visit.
I think that's probably the most important thing you can.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Do.
Yeah, it's important. Yeah. Now, if they're asking like why, it's like, oh, we got a lot of cool stuff to do, a lot of free cool stuff to do, versus everybody, and we have toasted ravioli. So why wouldn't you want to come to St. Louis?
There you go.
I think when you urge people to come visit your city, the thing that we always talk about, our favorite thing about this city, when people like are on the Reddit, St. Louis subreddit, they're always saying like, "Oh my God, I'm so surprised! Like your city was amazing. It's my first time visiting."
There's like a monthly or every other month post, like someone just from out of town posts in the St. Louis subreddit saying, "Hey, I just visited your city and I loved it and it's wonderful and here's all these cool things I didn't know."
So the first thing you should do is just come. I promise.
I agree.
Yeah, come on.
100%. I haven't. I mean, I've had a lot of friends come, and nobody's had a bad time.
It really is like, I mean,
Yeah.
it's show me, right?
Yeah.
Like not to be
Yeah.
corny about it. Like
Right.
come see it for yourself. It is pretty rad.
Come see it for yourself. Maybe that's the new slogan.
There you go.
Come see it for yourself. Don't,
Show me
don't
your
believe 'em.
cities.
Show yourself.
Show me
St.
your
Louis.
cities.
Yeah, okay.
Nope. Please don't. You've
Cities.
taken your shirt off once on this show.
I've
Just
it's
once.
probably been twice.
Yeah, I was about to
Yeah.
say. I mean, goodness.
If we count the cost
keep going.
the theater episode where all of us were wearing ill-fitting costumes. Yeah.
Do you feel known now? Do you feel known? Like better seen?
Do you feel seen?
Yeah, I think so.
We didn't get that deep.
Also,
Yeah, I mean, we could
he's
have gone. I
seen
was like,
every day.
You know? Yeah. Yeah, that does happen. That does happen a few times.
I feel you probably feel too seen.
You know, there's some times where I'm sitting with some folks and I'm like, why? I wish you asked this question. You know?
Well, what?
It's like they didn't.
What question do you wish
It
we
was,
asked?
it was less of like the human thing and more of like, oh, you know, robot politician guy coming
Sure,
up here
sure,
tell me
sure.
whatever. And it's like, you know, we didn't really connect on a human level there.
Yeah.
What's a question? What's a question you want to be asked?
I mean, these are great. This is fun, right? You made me think a lot. I had to go back into the mind trap. But
Would you like a question of like,
I don't know.
what's the one thing your father said when you were young that emotionally scarred
we
you
don't
forever?
no, we good.
Because I can answer that. No. Off the top of my
I
head.
was like John Lemon's a listener.
Oh, brother. Okay, you know what? Never mind. I was seen enough here.
I'm leaving. Oh boy.
So recently, as on the campaign, there are often debates between candidates, and you recently had a scheduled debate, and you showed up, and a Libertarian Party candidate showed up, but Andrew Bailey did not. Right. We decided to stage our own debate here, so you have an opportunity to actually debate Andrew Bailey.
Wow. Thank you.
Welcome to the overarching 2024 Missouri Attorney General debate between current Attorney General Andrew Bailey and Democratic challenger, St. Louis-based attorney Elad Gross. I'm Bradley Rolfe.
And I'm David Muir. The rules of this debate are simple. Each candidate will answer in their own words. Elad will answer in real time as he is in the room here with us. And since he didn't show up for this debate, what seems to be a surrogate for the Attorney General will be answering questions using quotes lifted directly from Andrew Bailey's Twitter. Or X, if you prefer. It's Twitter. It's Twitter.
We'll start simple. What's the role of Attorney General in a state like Missouri? We'll start with you, Mr. Bailey.
My office takes allegations against the people very seriously here in Missouri, which is why I will continue as Attorney General to fight and protect Missouri citizens and consumers. And that's why our office launched an investigation into the communist government of China.
Okay. Elad, what's your take on the role of Attorney General in the state of Missouri?
Yeah, so I think the role of the Attorney General is to represent the people of the state of Missouri, and that's to make sure that the office is working for us and they're not wasting our taxpayer money on things like suing China.
Check mark.
Elad, your campaign is probably best known for your stance on animal welfare. In 2010, voters passed a statewide ballot initiative imposing restrictions and standards of care for so-called puppy mills. So, why is this still a big deal? I thought we fixed it.
We tried to fix it. So that was Proposition B. A lot of folks collected a lot of signatures, put that into law, and then shortly after, the state legislature decided that they knew better than us, and they changed it. So they gutted the entire thing that we passed, and now today, we still have a law that we can enforce from the Attorney General's office. It would be great if we had an Attorney General who actually did his job there. But we do need to make some changes to that law as well.
That's rude.
All right.
Mr. Bailey.
Well, you talk about humane society with these animals. I'll tell you about a humane society. No humane society allows children to forever alter their bodies. How about that? Yeah. Today, the radical transgender activists asserted children have a right to undergo irreversible transgender surgeries. Meanwhile, my 5-year-old can't even ride in the front seat of my car.
You want your 5-year-old to ride in the front seat of your car?
I have rights.
Okay, that's fair.
You're a lawyer. Fair. Do you know about that? You know about rights?
I do. Oh. Yeah, and seatbelts.
What a guy. What a dog.
Moving on the ballot this November is Amendment 3, aka the Right to Reproductive Freedom Initiative, where a vote yes on this amendment will provide Missourians with the right to make and carry out decisions about all matters relating to reproductive health care. As it relates to this, what do you think voters should know when they cast their ballot? Attorney General Bailey, you first.
As a girl dad, this fight is deeply personal to me. We must condemn these actions and stand firm in our commitment to protect women's rights. I mean, my 5-year-old can't even ride in the front seat of my car, Elad. Come on, you did that. Rest assured, I will continue to advocate against any policy that threatens their safety and well-being, like Joe Biden's Title IX revisions, and I quote, prohibit discrimination and harassment based on sexual orientation, gender identity, and sex characteristics. They're nothing short of a war on women. I mean, come on, they should be able to discriminate too.
A lot.
The question was about Amendment 3 on the ballot, correct?
This is correct.
Okay, just making sure. So Amendment 3 would put reproductive freedom into the state constitution. It would protect us from certain politicians who don't think that women should have rights to make their own healthcare choices. It would protect access to IVF, access to birth control, something that unfortunately our current Attorney General does not support. So I think that we need protections against big government getting even bigger. Folks who think that they know better than us, I think that people in Missouri know a whole lot better than our politicians, and they should be the ones making these choices. So vote yes on Amendment 3.
But what about the right to discrimination? Yeah, where's my rights?
Yeah, we shouldn't have that either.
You can if you want to. I just don't think people will be very happy about it.
Big government over here.
That's what the lawyers are for,
Yeah, big government.
To sue you.
Am I right, David? Am I right? Government. Big government over here.
He just said the opposite.
Just because he's short doesn't mean he doesn't want big government.
Look, little guys for little government. It's that easy.
We turn now to the safety of our children.
We turn now to the safety of our children, specifically concerning the epidemic of mass shootings that
take place in our schools. Elad, what can the Office of the Attorney General do to protect our most vulnerable citizens?
That's a great question. I think that, look, and we've already got funding from the governor to do this. Unfortunately, we haven't seen it implemented yet from the Attorney General's office, but that's an office that can coordinate prosecutors, law enforcement, making sure that, when somebody has done something wrong, they should be punished for that. We need to get them off the streets and make sure that folks are safe. But we really need to prevent violence before it's happening, make sure that we're investing in our communities. And right now, when we talk about gun violence in Missouri, especially, most of the guns that are procured illegally are actually being stolen out of people's vehicles because they're not locked up in the right way. So I think that we need a lot more education around that, but we need a lot more making sure that folks are safe in our communities and making sure that we all have access to great educations too, and we get to be safe when we're in our schools.
You heard him. Lock 'em up. Lock 'em up. Lock him up.
Well, all right, Attorney General Bailey, what is your response to the prompt?
Look, I can't read this without my glasses.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I will not tolerate the neglect of student safety for the sake of political agendas. The safety and well-being of our children must always come first. And those responsible for jeopardizing it must be held fully accountable. Am I right?
I agree with that. Yeah.
That's why I'm demanding a thorough investigation into the role of these DEI agendas that have been put ahead of protecting students and keeping my 5-year-old out of the front seat of my car.
All right. Next question. In Missouri, we value our access to natural beauty and resources. I mean, you can just drive 2 hours out of town and you're right there.
You're right there.
Attorney General Bailey, what can the Office of Attorney General do to appease Mother Gaia and prevent her from smiting us further?
Good question. Good question, sir. For far too long, Missourians have been poisoned by their federal government via Coldwater Creek. You heard of that? It runs on the north side of St. Louis. The federal government owes it to those people, these residents, to provide sufficient warning, which is why I'm proposing, I don't know, a sign? I don't know, a sign?
A sign.
A sign?
Sorry.
A sign.
Mr. Bailey, Attorney General Bailey,
They should put up a sign that says it's poison.
There are warning signs already. There is a sign there already.
But do they meet federal mandates for signs?
No, sure. I think there are certain federal standards for signage that those signs do not currently meet.
How am I supposed to see them?
Okay.
I work for the federal government.
So, okay, well, and if you were, so you're proposing that we replace these signs with signs that meet federal standards, correct?
And then people would know they're trespassing, and then they'd be shot on sight, and then they wouldn't have to worry about the river being poisoned, now would they?
Well, then they wouldn't also have to worry about dying via cancer from the site, because they would just be shot.
Now that's a humane society.
Yeah. Mr. Gross,
take that.
Would you like me to repeat
I like signs too, but I think we probably should have bigger and better ones. Yes, I agree. But also maybe we could have a conservation division at the Attorney General's office that actually litigated these issues and sued the federal government for poisoning the people of Missouri, so that folks who have cancer, they can get compensated, so that people who live in these areas that need to move, they can be protected. And maybe we can have the signs too. So I agree with the signs, but that's about it.
Mucking up the scenery.
Did you hear the part about the signs?
I liked that.
Yeah, I think we can come together on some things.
On signs.
Yeah, on signs.
Before, it's a good show.
It's
a movie, right?
Before M. Night Shyamalan really got weird. It was a good. It was a good movie. It was a good. Yeah. Back when M. Night Shyamalan was great. Make M. Night Shyamalan great again, is what I'm saying.
That's going to take a lot.
That's MMSGA. Mzg.
Trap was pretty
I did hear that.
Trap was pretty good. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
I haven't seen an M. Night Shyamalan movie since The Happening.
Back to St. Louis related things.
The Happening was a good movie. That's
Before
quote,
we leave-
Attorney General Andrew Bailey says. I don't know why I'm doing Bernie. It's this. Anyway.
I'm here again.
Yep. An actor acts.
Fully inhabiting the character.
Before we leave tonight, we'd like to give each of the candidates a chance to make a final appeal to Missouri voters as to why they should cast their vote for either one of you this November. Elad, you're on the clock. Why should Missouri vote for you?
Well, look, if you think that some of these answers are a little bit too far out, if you think that the having an attorney general who admittedly wants to work for the federal government apparently now, if you think the government's just getting too big and you'd like some control over your own life, making your own decisions, if you think that, maybe we shouldn't be wasting so much money on having a division to get the attorney general on TV, and maybe we should do more about stopping scam callers or protecting our drinking water or making sure that our kids are safe, then I think it's time for us to have a new attorney general. And so I really, really would appreciate your vote in November. My name's Elad Gross, and I'm running to be your attorney general because it's about time that we have an attorney general who's working for the people of the state of Missouri rather than whatever this is.
Thank you. Attorney General Bailey, you have the last word.
Don't believe the facts. St. Louis is the most dangerous city on earth. Crime is rising. Everything is bad. St. Louis County is just as bad too, except for the parts that are voting for me. Those parts are good. Just remember, we've had a Republican administration for years. And in that time, we're 46th in education. And that's out of 50. That's why I propose getting rid of public schools altogether. Because, they're public. You know what that means. And to quote current Attorney General Andrew Bailey, that's me. This is the show me state after all. Missourians love to show the rest of the country how it's done. And with your vote, we can guarantee that 5-year-olds everywhere can ride in the front seat of my car.
That has been the first
And only
2024 Missouri Attorney General debate brought to you by Overarching. I'm Bradley Rawl.
And I'm Colin Jost.
And I'm Andrew Bailey.
Remember to vote this November 5th. Thank you and good night.
Now I know why you didn't show up to the other one.
I'm crazy.
Wonderful. Thank you for entertaining us, our silliness a lot. But it is we're putting this together.
That was great.
Has a podcast ever been sued by a sitting attorney general?
We'll find out soon, won't we?
I do want to state for the record, so much of that is verbatim off. So
Very clear here.
He has a tendency to a lot of these are the same tweet. But it's like flipped over just for effect. But he does almost get there.
You can
so
see
much.
You can see how close he is to getting it.
Yeah.
And then he just
you can almost see how close he is to being an extreme leftist.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa.
he says some stuff.
You're like, whoa, buddy. And then he's like, Title IX. And you're like,
and I think
That's where this is going.
Yeah.
Right?
And I think that's the key, because we're looking for okay, we're sure we can find some stuff to take his own words and put them in these responses and for a nice little bit. But so much of it is that kind of populism brained thing where it's I need to create a message that sounds good and then throw in and then try and shoehorn in my, I almost say policy position, but so much you go down the list so much of it's not even policy position. It's just, culture war stuff because they're more about the rhetoric of winning and not the rhetoric of doing things.
Yes.
Oh, it's like Andrew just said, he works for the federal government. He represents the president, the former president of the United States.
Over half of his tweets are about
not Trump
to Missouri.
And they all, it's
least,
the same picture of him posing with Trump when Trump probably posed with all the governors that like him that day.
Right.
And it's that one picture. He's like, look, I did it. I'm with this guy.
I'm with Daddy.
Yeah.
So it's cool. Good.
Wild accusation. I think he does call him daddy.
How much you want to bet his dream is to play golf at Mar-a-Lago?
I don't know why I thought you were going to say play Donald Trump in a movie.
He probably could.
He probably actually maybe JD Vance if he grew a little beard.
Yeah.
Can he grow a beard?
I don't know. Haven't seen it.
A long line of Republicans that JD Vance is honestly breaking that tradition.
Yeah.
Growing a beard.
Yeah.
It's the one good thing I can say about him.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
He's bringing it back to 1888 in a couple different ways.
I think it's important though, the fact that we
had you on the show, and thank you.
Oh, thank
for
you. No, this
coming
is
and
great.
being on
Yeah,
the show.
this is
But I
fun.
think it's important for the three of us to do something, right?
Yes. In a segment we call Back That Ag Up. Back that ag up. Back that ag up. Back that ag up. They'll put that over the song. It's copyright violation, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Back that ag up. We like you.
Yeah. We think you should be the Attorney General.
And
of
we're
Missouri.
endorsing Elad Gross to be the Attorney General of the state of Missouri.
Go vote on November 5th for this guy and other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This has been Back That Ag Up.
Back that ag up. Back that ag up. Back that ag up. For the record, we are speaking on behalf of ourselves,
Yeah.
not Fly North Theatrical. It's a nonprofit organization. Back that ag up.
This is new for us. We get
Good
to
disclaimer.
endorse somebody.
Good
Back that
disclaimer.
ag up
Thank
was
you.
not brought to you by Fly North Theatricals as the rest of this
Us as
podcast.
individuals.
Yes, we like him. Please don't take our tax benefits away. please, please don't do it.
Oh my God.
I know a lawyer. I know a guy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But we think it's really important that you do. We think it's very important.
do what? Take our tax benefits away?
No, to vote for Elad.
But it's like one.
We think it's important for you to
Fuck
take our
off,
tax
David.
benefits away.
No.
And also take the tax benefits of churches away.
Yeah.
What?
What? Or at least make them fill out 990s.
Who said that?
Make churches fill out 990s.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Make them do anything.
really, it's just make them fill out one thing.
I don't think he's going to be on board with
with
us
that. That's
talking
correct.
shit about churches.
We don't need to bring him in.
But
He needs votes.
but
there goes the boot heel. Bye,
please,
everyone.
but please,
needs votes.
I think regardless of what your partisan or nonpartisan political leanings are,
Yes.
like voting's important. I know sometimes it feels like it's not in the context of national politics,
Yeah.
especially in a state like Missouri. But there's so many important races all down the ballot. And two, like I said, like if this guy didn't convince you that he's a good dude who's going to do a good job, regardless of what you think about any other national politics stuff, like, I don't know, man. Like, what's your problem? Vote. Number one, vote. Two, vote for Elad.
I mean, there's a reason we don't have, Crystal Quaid or anybody else in this hot seat. It's because we couldn't get them. But also, it's because it's because he's the real deal. We've been Elad fans for a while.
Yeah.
We were super duper excited when, I'm talking about you like you're not here. Like when his campaign decided to host an event at Greenfinch. And like
Great event.
that's a great event. Beautiful event.
Absolutely terrific.
It's the greatest venue in St.
I've
Louis.
never seen one better. You
It's
won't
a-
find one better.
It's the biggest venue. The Fox Theater is nothing on.
But we sit here every so often, every other week or so, and talk about all our dreams and whatever for St. Louis. And one of the big things in Missouri is like how often that we vote for something, and then some dipwad at the state levels like, what if we didn't? Independent demographers, freaking access to reproductive freedom, like a bunch of stuff. Like the fact that can be on the ballot this year, and I don't trust that our statewide government's going to not just find a way to say, whatever. And at a hyper local level, it's like the green line, we voted that in, and there's politicians that are running for even citywide office that don't support it, and that can probably find a way via the state or via whatever to kill it, because that's what the law is. The law's full of like
or even
loopholes.
even the goofy stuff about like the geopolitics of St. Louis, like around like local control, because like because the state has like weird leverage on the city of St. Louis and a handful of stuff, you know?
And in the attorney general, we're trusting a lawyer, an attorney, to uphold the ethic of the law, not just use it to like get their way for things. And we believe this guy was going to do that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
That is the idea.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, we can stop keeping innocent people in prison. I think that would be a great start.
Rip Marcellus Williams, absolutely. What have some elected officials done in Missouri politics in recent memory?
Just in general?
Tied a girl up in their basement. Eric Greitens.
Yes.
For blackmail.
Yeah, you did that. Yeah, there was one with the balloons. I don't really know very much about, but
The balloons.
Yeah.
yeah, the green balloons.
Yeah.
It was like a
that?
safety word.
Oh, as part of that whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was
gotcha.
different. It
It
wasn't
gets dark.
him. It was a different guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a speaker
Oh, it was a
that-
different guy.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Different
There's two people tied people up in their basement?
This one, I don't know if there was a lot of tying, but there were a lot of interns, I think, that were involved.
Oh,
That
gotcha.
should not have been involved
Yuck.
because we're not supposed to do that. Yes.
I think something that I'm really curious.
So don't do
about
any of that
before-
stuff, is what I'm saying.
I planned not to.
Before we sign this off, I'm curious about one specific thing from your career.
Okay.
In 2016,
Oh, boy.
you were like you ran for assistant.
I was.
Oh, you were.
I
You
was- I
ran
was-
for Secretary of State in 2016.
Yeah, I was
But
very
like-
brief. Yeah, for like 2 seconds. Yeah.
But you were the assistant attorney general
Yes.
while Josh Hawley was attorney general.
No.
What was Josh Hawley doing?
No. So, okay. So I
Wasn't
was
he attorney
I was,
general at that point?
He was attorney general in 2017. He won the election in 2016.
That's what. Okay,
Yes, yes,
okay.
yes,
I didn't
yes.
know if there was an overlap.
No.
Have you had any work with him?
Yes.
Is there fun things you can share that are fun but you cannot get in trouble for?
Yes.
Okay, I would love to hear one.
I tried to subpoena Judge Hawley. In fact, I did.
Oh.
Yeah. So when I was,
I thought you said you didn't tie up people in your basement.
Okay. So Josh Hawley was.
You know what subpoena means, Colin?
Yeah.
Is that what you're calling it?
A subpoena.
At your house? No,
If I was an attorney, it's absolutely what I would call it. Anyway, continue.
Well, I'm glad you all know an attorney. Okay, this is good. I feel like I'll be getting some calls after this. Yeah. So no. So when I was doing this big sunshine law litigation was about all of a bunch of these records that were involved with Eric Greitens. So when Eric Greitens was there, all this tying up and everything else, and he said, "Well, I'm not going to resign. I'm going to fight this the whole way. These are just people coming after me." And there was a judge that he was being investigated for having this fake charity that was putting in money, looked like all this political stuff, whatever it was. And the office was right next to the governor's office in Jefferson City. So the House, which was led by a Republican, was investigating him. And they went to a judge and they said, "Judge, we want to see the names of these donors." And the judge said, "Yes, you get to see the names of these donors." And 2 hours later, Eric Greitens quits.
Oh, wow.
That's when he quit. He quit because of that. So then he left, and then they all dropped their investigations. I said, "This is ridiculous." So that's what started my whole sunshine law thing.
Yeah.
And so I started asking for records. And one of those cases, so Josh Hawley, he was now the attorney general at this time, and he was supposed to be investigating Eric Greitens, and then kind of dropped all of his stuff too. And all of a sudden, these records were coming, and it's like, oh wait, was Josh like hiding stuff because he didn't want to get in trouble too? And so there were some things where, where are we at? Why didn't we do this? And so I called his office because I said, "You're a witness in my case. I would like to interview you to see if you have any pertinent information." They said, "Oh, okay, well, we'll put you in touch." Of course they didn't. So I called again and again, and he said he wouldn't participate or whatever it was. They just weren't responding. So I said, if I don't get a response, I will have to ask the court for a subpoena to order you to testify under oath. And they said, nothing. So I asked the court issued the subpoena, and then we tried to serve it. And so he's in DC, doesn't spend much time in Missouri, and so it had to be served in his office. And when the process server would get there, he would run to the office and then hide, and then have all these other people say, "Oh, we don't know where he is. He's busy. He's going to be on the floor," and then run out to the floor where they can't get him, and he's asking questions. So this person kept coming and said, "We've been trying this for 2 weeks, and we haven't been able to get him."
He's really good at running.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's
Very good at running. And then I said, well, what if I knew where he was going to be and it was not in the Capitol? Could you then serve? Like, sure, yeah, we can go anywhere, even if it's like a ticketed event or something. Yeah. So I have been on CPAC's list for the last many years because I bought a ticket to CPAC and he was served at CPAC right after he was done giving his presentation on stage. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. He then hired 5 attorneys to say he shouldn't have to sit for a deposition until other people do. And lots of, like 3 of them were from DC and they specialize in, it was like all these different scandals. They had a whole list on their website of people they defended from all these scandals. And the judge said, okay, yeah, sure. He has to depose a couple other people first. And that case was the one that ended up going up to the Supreme. So now it's back at the trial court level, and we'll see what we have to do.
So it's still open, though.
It's 6 years of litigation.
What a
on
great
this.
serve.
That's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, they were so excited when they called me.
I like
we
to-
got him. I'm like, oh, okay.
I like to think that, in his office, he has like an array of like fake palm trees or little cardboard cutouts of stuff that it's just like the guy walks into his office and he's just like hiding behind a little thing. It's just like
No one's here.
he has like an array of like disguises.
Just one of those class.
I will
I've
say
always wanted to do a bit where somebody's like serving them papers and then do like a Serena Williams grunt and just go,
that's great. That should be your style if you ever become a paper server. That's more like the Dean scream. Remember when that was?
Remember when that was a scandal?
Remember when that was a scandal? That and the
Howard
tan
Dean?
suit. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Doing
that
the
used to
Dean
be
screen?
that used to be a thing.
we're really off point here.
I was
This
gonna.
is what we do.
Well, that's like the state of politics back then versus where we are now.
Right.
You know, you
Yeah.
scream a little weird, you're done, and you
Done.
now not so much actually. Everyone.
That was prerequisite.
Yeah.
Josh Hawley. Josh Hawley.
Yeah.
I was gonna try to put together an appropriate comment section readers theater for today, but I didn't. Comment section readers theater where we take the on fire comment section, usually from a news outlet on Facebook, about something about St. Louis, and I couldn't really find anything, but I did scour pretty much every article from the last few months about Josh Hawley on a few different, like on the Business Journal and on KSDK and the Post Dispatch, and with ubiquity. And I really mean it's like pretty close to 100%. These comment sections, which are generally on fire with right wing activity, for comedic effect in our case, was almost exclusively like, but fuck that guy. Like it was unreal. People with American flags and eagles as their profile picture to whoever.
No.
It was all like, but that guy,
So you would think Lucas Coons has a shot.
he might,
see.
man, like I show me, right? Like it's,
Believe
it's
it when I see it, man.
it's oh man, but it felt interesting to read it. It felt like, is this hope? Is it? Provided by a Facebook comment section too, on top of it.
Facebook comment section gave you hope. Is that the first time a Facebook comment section gave you hope?
Maybe.
You hit it.
It might be.
And the last.
Maybe. I mean, I'm out here always reading about like the Chesterfield Mall and stuff. So yeah, like it's the Chesterfield downtown area. Anyway, that's next time on Overarching. This was Overarching. Overarching is recorded at Fly North Theatricals here in sunny Grand Center, St. Loogie Magoogie. Our producer is Ian Gilbert. Editing is done by Big Picture Media, and our logo design is by Claire Nipper. Follow us on social media at Overarching ST Lewis. And if you're not watching this on YouTube, you should first vote and then smash that subscribe button on YouTube. I'm Colin.
I'm David.
I'm Bradley.
I'm Elad Gross.
And this was Overarching.